Hello, hello everybody. Thank you for tuning in to another Starcraft 2 broadcast. I'm Anaris here today with the first game in a best-of-3 match series from Blizzcon 2011 between Terran the Terran, spawning as the Terran, over in the Terran position. No, this is also known as Major Kitty Princess, or Major Kitty Princess, whatever you want to call him. This is the name that he is currently using, spawning up in the 11 o'clock position against Naniwa. He has actually had his name for much longer. And quite easier to remember. Spawning over in the 2 o'clock position here today on Antigua Shipyards. What a way to start off BlizzCon 2011, man. Naniwa and Teran, both very strong players. You know, they did invite some of the best in the world to come around to California, play this tournament out, and let me just say I've got all the replays, going to try to cast as many of them as possible. Let's actually take a look at the map here, see how it can affect the matchup, the dynamics of the builds. So, the biggest thing that I see right now is the fact that the spawning positions are as such that in the early to mid game, the Terran player is going to be pretty vulnerable to drops, Warp Prism play. And I think Naniwa would be wise to try to exploit that at some point here in the game. But as it progresses later and later, you're going to start to see that balance shift in favor of the Terran player. As we get to the point where you're going to start seeing a third base drop for either one of them, this one, of course, is going to be very, very exposed, and it will really hurt Naniwa, having to deal with these constant drops, which I'm sure that Major will try to take advantage of. So what he could do is he could, of course, expand down to here, Naniwa that is. It would leave him quite a travel distance for any reinforcements, though. That's something that Major could really look to exploit. So we'll see what happens here in the coming moments as both of these players are starting to go off with their builds. We see that the Terran, God, I'm just not going to get used to that, has decided to go with a 1-Rax, probably expand here in the coming minutes or two. He does have that first Marine on the way. And likewise, Naniwa dropping actually a second gas. Pretty interesting on the time of it. You see, he dropped it almost as soon as the Cybernetics Core dropped as well. So he is going to be in a great position moving forward. Ooh, nice. I think he was actually waiting for that SCV to drop, or to go away before that gateway dropped, but doubled back, spotted that, and so Naniwa is going to be in a pretty good position to do some kind of a tech play. He could actually decide to go and harass with you know, a Stalker, which is something that we see oftentimes, and then moving forward, I think that maybe he could just decide to go ahead and get a robotics facility, maybe do that drop play we were talking about. Either way, I think that both players are in very good spots at this point. Terran actually going for that early expansion, dropping it down here. Again, this is not at all surprising. There's the double gas as well, wants to try to catch up on that. And of course, we can see that Terran does have an SCV over here. And again, I apologize if I just say Terran. I don't know. I really should call him Major or something else, but this will be an interesting name. I don't know why you'd pick a name like that. I know I'm just kind of rambling at this point, but it seems overly nondescript. Well, it's not many, I'm not going to worry about it. So we do have the Stalker heading out, and the probe coming down. Oh, well, I thought he was actually going to come up here, save up some money, and drop an expansion, as he was sitting on around 200 minerals at the time that probe left, but we do have the SCV scouting around. This is pretty much just him anticipating early pressure with the Stalker. I think he just knows that that's to be expected, and he will be heading away. I don't actually think he saw that probe right there. So with the bunker in place down here at the top of the ramp, we are going to have that Stalker pretty much just avert away. That's to be expected. Again, he does not want to lose any hit points on that Stalker. The shield's okay, those will regenerate. Hit points, not so much. And up here we do have the Terran player actually going for a factory. This is pretty interesting, actually. Let's see, we've got those Marines coming out as well, and I think we're going to see not too much in the way of harassment. The Stalker just has 1 kill. That's the SCV that it picked off just a brief while ago, and we do have that expansion going down, as well as 2 additional gateways just finishing up there. So we do have Naniwa going for a 4-gate expansion. Now, as far as what Major, Terran, whatever you want to call him, is or has up here to deal with it, we see he's got the bunker. Okay, that's fine. 2 barracks. You got a reactor and a tech lab and a mule here that was just pulled off the lines. I think that one was near completion on its time, of course, as you saw. And the expansion right here, I think that Terran is going to be in a pretty good spot overall. He is researching siege tech and going for siege tanks. That's very, very curious. Although I think that type of build will lend itself well to the terrain on this map. I think that Terran is going to be looking to abuse that. For example, if you come over here, drop position siege tanks in this spot, you can actually get a range of fire right here and allow some forces to kind of move up. But now we do have the Terran player actually moving around with the Marine. He does spot that proxy pylon, so he does have a clear indication of what's going to be happening here in the next minute or so. It's a good thing he's got these double bunkers, but likewise, he's also bringing down the SCVs to repair. Again, he's just anticipating that attack. Very good game sense, good scouting there. And I would like to see, okay, here's the Guardian Shield force fields going down. Oh man, I think this bunker will drop first. The Marines going down very quickly thereafter. Again, more force fields going to limit their ability to run around. And Zealot's actually still alive, so they're going to be able to chew through those Marines. Siege Tech is now finished, so that expansion denied. I think that Naniwa would do well to actually just run away and get back down the natural. What are you doing, man? Those siege tanks are going to obliterate those sentries. Guardian Shield does not really do a whole lot to siege tank fire. Let me just tell you, this is exactly what I'm talking about right here. This entire attack was just annihilated by Terran, and so much was just lost. You look at the supply and you see, yes, they're about even now, 30 to 30. And you look at the income, 19 to 24. He is ahead on the workers, but still continuing to press this attack, bringing in these Zealots. I mean, he had to pretty much just know that those 3 or 4 Marines plus the siege tank could handle those Zealots, especially warping in a staggered formation like that. But overall, Terran player up here, he is in a much better position because he does have this expansion down, and of course we do have a couple sentries warping in as well. I think Naniwa was again maybe looking to try to hit the Terran player if he decided to bring his defenses down, but we do see this siege tank on the high ground. Naniwa is not going to be able to bust that up. He's pretty much just going to be limited to light harassment with this Stalker, and of course once the siege tank sieges up, and bam, he is going to be forced to retreat. So far the units lost 20 resources, 2192, 3625 workers and units killed. You can just kind of take a quick look at that right there as we watch those siege tanks again scoring some more kills. Looking at the kills, actually 9 for that one, 0 for the other. Starport going down as well as another barracks. So Major is pretty much just in a great position right now. Looking over here at Naniwa's base, we see he is just kind of playing a little bit of catch-up at this point. He has dropped his expansion. It was just such a brief while ago, though, so he's going to have to get his economy going super quick. Chronoing his Nexus. No, actually, he's not chrono boosting at all. He does have a Twilight Council going down. I wonder if he's going to be going for some type of Blink Stalker Harass, or maybe going to try to transition into DT Harass. I don't know, man. I mean, really, what it all comes down to here are the scans, and of course we can see that there is enough energy for nothing right now on either one of these command centers. But of course, as the game progresses on, you're probably going to see more and more energy saved for those scans, not so much used for the mules. Of course, we aren't quite at that point yet. So with Naniwa running around 2 Stalkers here, we do have that Blink upgrade on the way. The Nexus just about complete. He did have a lot of gas at the conclusion of that attack, and that's kind of why, BattleNet connection loss, that's not good. That's kind of why he does have all these sentries right here. Needed something to spend it on. Did a great job keeping his money down. Gas, on the other hand, bit of a pile. So he has transferred the probes. Okay, everything's looking fine there. There's the scan. So let's see, does he actually spot that Twilight Council? I'm curious about that. Yes, he does, just on the edge. And we do have those Stalkers actually getting chased away by the Marines. And now with those medevacs in the field, it's really going to be increasingly difficult. Already, we're seeing a 20 supply gap there between the two players. And that's what I'm talking about. Having delayed that expansion, canceled it, tried to press up. And you know, okay, fine. He did great job, Naniwa that is, taking out this expansion, delaying it, but running up here like he did when he was basically, he had already caught up to his opponent, having canceled that expansion. He could have just held that for long enough to get his own up, but now he tried to force it. He lost all of those sentries. That energy could have been building up there, and now we're in the position that we are today, or at this point in time, 2 Zealots canceled by the destruction of that pylon. I think you're going to have some Blink Micro here. Yes, indeed. There it is. In order to survive the Marines' onslaught, which does have Combat Shield, we do have Stim Pack just now finishing up. And, of course, we see now transitioning into a heavier quantity of Marauders. This poor Stalker is going to get taken out right there, as well as a second one. Watching the kill count go up. We just take a look real quick, and you can see 2 to 12, 32, 46. As far as income is concerned, 44 to 35. Again, that's just having that second command center there so much earlier than his opponent. Gas going down and everything's looking swell in that regard. Still pushing forward, actually, now with the siege tanks this time. This is going to put his opponent in such a weird position, I think. With these Stalkers, he's going to be able to do a decent bit of damage. He's got to watch out, though, because, again, Marauders, very, very effective against the Stalkers. We're going to see that nice blink away right there, and he will live to see another day. Now, will the Terran player continue with this attack? I'm a little curious, because I don't think he has quite enough to break it. Oh, wonderful. Achievements have been restored. Thank you for that. So, I don't think he quite has enough to break it, but with the drop coming on the way now, ooh, man, this could be very, very interesting indeed. What is this factory still just kind of hanging out over here? It would be kind of ballsy if he actually tried to land that and build a Hellion. I have seen that done before. Actually, it's several times I've seen that done. So drop will be coming down here into the Protoss main base. We, of course, can see that Naniwa doesn't really have a lot. Okay, he's got some forces right here waiting for it. Okay, so that's good. He's anticipating the drop. He's going to be able to pretty much just take that out very quickly. And, of course, we could see up here, Terran player is going to be retreating back to his natural wall. He drops his third as well. I mean, hey, he's already got a pretty decent advantage. We'll look at the income, 53 to 41. And we do have, you know, Protoss just sitting pretty decent with the minerals right now, but the gas is really where it's hurting. He's running basically on one base right now. Both these guys are just sitting here unused. He's got to definitely do something about that. As we see, he is currently waiting on those 2 additional gateways to finish. Double Forge! Oh man, going to be going for those upgrades. Now actually, on the PTR 1.4.2, as of today, the Protoss upgrades are actually receiving a little bit of a cost reduction. I believe it's 150, 225, and 250 for 300 for shields. And then Protoss weapons at armor level 2 and 3 are getting a 25 mineral, 25 gas reduction on each level. So just kind of something to keep in mind for those of you who happen to be watching this video today, as we do have another drop coming over here at this expansion. This time we're going to watch this poor Zealot charge in by himself, get taken out, probe count slowly going down, managed to get 1 probe. Okay, that's cool. And over here we do have Marine just kind of patrolling back and forth, pretty much just checking for expansions. I think it's actually a very good idea that he's doing this, because he knows the Protoss, any expansion that he puts right here is going to be extremely vulnerable, so this place, also these, will be another good spot. Here comes Naniwa, just checking out the defenses, sees those siege tanks. They do kind of add a little bit of a curveball for him to deal with here, especially since they got all the Marines here as well. So now that the charge upgrade is complete, we are going to see those siege tanks taken out. Oh no, those force fields are actually going to work against them there, as they will be allowing the Terran player to take out plenty of free kills. However, they have cut him off from the natural expansion and the third. Of course, dropships can easily take care of that. Looking around here, a couple of Zealots still in the natural expansion. We do have an attempt at a drop. Naniwa, spotting that very quickly, is on top of things as he continues to run around midfield. Again, looking for any weaknesses that he can find. What is waiting for him up here? Well, we do have, oh man, nice drop up there. Nice pickup as well. Good micro on both fronts here. So anyways, we do have that shift. We have 1 siege tank waiting for him over here as well. This drop is going to be heading back to base. It may spot this. I don't know if he does. He'll probably end up losing the dropship. Of course, I believe he is just flat out aware of it as we speak. So with the Ghosts here, the Archons, I think the Terran player is just looking in a better position by the moment. And 161 to 125, looking at the income as we get ready to possibly have another battle. We see 2K to 1K, 62 to 47 on the workers. Overall, Naniwa is just fighting from behind. Has been for some time. Great EMPs landing right there. Force fields going down as well. Naniwa suffering very heavy losses, but likewise doing some pretty good damage. These medevacs keeping the Marine Marauder force alive. I think the Ghosts are still alive as well. At least one of them. Zealots coming in. Meanwhile, to the mineral line, doing a pretty decent bit of damage. We can see over here, this mineral patch is just about mined out. So that is the source of Naniwa's current economic woes right now. Not so much, well actually yeah, we can just call it unemployment right there. Those probes are looking to double up in the jobs on the natural expansion. More Archons are on the way, but with the Ghosts already on the field, man, it is going to be increasingly difficult to try to push an attack here against this force, which is just so powerful right now. Looking at the upgrades 2-1 compared to the Protoss player, which we can actually, the probes don't, not you, 1-1. Of course, having that armor really didn't help the Archons a whole terrible lot. But the third expansion has gone down. It's about 60% complete for Naniwa. If he can manage to hold this off, which I'm not really convinced that he can, then I think he'll be able to stay in this game. But 157 to 77 is such a large gap there. It's going to pretty much just require a miracle at this point. I mean, you just look at the unit composition right now. 9 Zealots, 3 Archons. I think this is pretty much just going to go as we can expect it to. Zealots get taken out right there. Archons as well. 159 to 60. There's the GG. Naniwa leaves. Terran gets game number 1 here, the best of 3 series from Blizzcon 2011. Once again, I am Anaris. Thank you for watching. Please be sure to stay tuned. Subscribe to my channel if you would like to get pretty much just up-to-date information on the world of Starcraft. And no, that's not an upcoming MMORPG, but if it is, you'll hear about it here.